Hi, hello, this is Giri, teaching 10th Mathematics in the chapter Real Numbers. The first week of annual academic calendar, and this is part 1 video. In this video, we will learn the syllabus for the academic year 2020 and 21 and the different chapters in paper 1 and paper 2 and the concepts of real numbers. You see, dear children, this is the annual academic calendar for 2020 and 21 and this is released by APSCRT, and this calendar is released for 9th class and 10th class, and this is the cover page of 10th class academic calendar. Now if you observe this calendar, the highlights are here the 10th class paper wise chapters distribution. As you know that there are 14 chapters in your textbook. Out of 14 chapters, only 8 chapters are taken up for this year 2020 and 21. And the remaining 6 chapters are removed from the syllabus only for this academic year. And the chapters that may come under paper 1 are the first chapter, real numbers, and the second chapter, sets, and the third chapter, polynomials, and the 7th chapter, coordinate geometry. These 4 chapters may come under paper 1. The first chapter, real numbers, second chapter, sets, the third chapter, polynomials, and the 7th chapter, coordinate geometry comes under paper 1, and whereas the 4 chapters come under paper 2 are the 8th chapter, similar triangles, the 9th chapter, tangents and secants to a circle, and the 11th chapter, trigonometry, and the 14th chapter, statistics. These 4 chapters come under paper 2. There are exactly 14 chapters in our maths textbook. Out of 14 chapters, only 8 chapters are taken up for this academic year 2020 and 21, and the remaining 6 chapters are deleted only for this academic year. Okay, now from November 2nd, the schools may reopen and the syllabus is given for 20 weeks, and we have to complete these 8 chapters in 20 weeks. From November to March month ending, we have to complete all these 8 chapters. Dear children, now let us look at the 10th class week wise syllabus distribution. Weekly wise syllabus distribution, and this is the paper 1, the first chapter, real numbers. This real numbers chapter is to be dealt in the first week and the second week, and whereas the second chapter, sets, is to be taken up in 6th week and 7th week. The third chapter, polynomials, to be done in 11th week and 12th week, and the 7th chapter, coordinate geometry, to be taken up in 15th week, 16th week, and 17th week. And now the paper 2 chapters, 8 chapters, similar triangles, to be dealt in 13th week and 14th week. 9th chapter, tangents and secants to a circle, to be explained in 18th week, 19th week, and 20th week. And the 11th chapter, trigonometry, to be taken up in 8th week, 9th week, and 10th week. And 14th chapter, statistics, is to be explained in 3rd week, in 4th week, and in 5th week. This is the week wise syllabus that is to be taken up in the class. In our regular class, first of all, if you observe, the first chapter, real numbers, is to be taken up in first week and second week. That is November first week and second week. By the second week ending, we have to complete the chapter real numbers. This is the week wise syllabus distribution. Now the first week syllabus is, observe this, this is the first week syllabus. According to this annual academic calendar, in the first week we have to take the real numbers. This is the chapter real numbers, and in this chapter real numbers you should learn the different sets of numbers, from set of natural numbers to set of real numbers, and their importance. And in the second class you should learn the prime factorization of whole numbers. and in the third class you should learn how to find the LCM and GCD using prime factorization, and this is from exercise 1.2. These three are to be taken up in the classroom. You see, you have to taken up these three concepts in the classroom, but whereas at home, what is the work to be done by the students? Observe. At home, you have to solve the problems from exercise 1.2 basing on prime factorization, and again at home you should solve the problems on LCM and GCD from exercise 1.3. If you observe this last column, these activities should be learned by the students. These activities are most important activities that every student should learn. The first one is Euclid's division lemma, and the second one is using Euclid's division lemma you have to find GCD, the concept of finding GCD using Euclid's division lemma, and the third point is the applications of Euclid's division lemma and the problems from exercise 1.1. These activities are to be completed in the first week of November. In order to complete the syllabus, we may record 3 videos to complete the first week syllabus, out of which this is the first video, and this first video contains the different sets of numbers starting from set of natural numbers to set of real numbers, and also the importance of numbers. And in the second video you may learn the prime factorization of whole numbers and the exercise 1.1, and the remaining exercise also you may learn one by one. Okay dear children, now this is the chapter real numbers and we will introduce the chapter real numbers. Hello dear students, here is the first chapter of our 10th class textbook. You see, look at this diagram. What can you see in this diagram? Yes, it is a bunch of roses. Now how many roses are there? You count. Yes. If I ask you to count, you may start from 1. You may say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. Therefore, there are 9 roses in this bunch of flowers. Look at this diagram. These are our freedom fighters. If I ask you to count how many are there, then you may start counting like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. In this diagram we have 7 famous freedom fighters of India. If we look at this diagram, here are our Indian soldiers, and these soldiers are hoisting a flag and they are safeguarding our border. And if I ask you to count how many soldiers are there, then how do you count? Yes, you can start from 1. You may say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. You may say that there are 9 soldiers, and these 9 soldiers are safeguarding our territory with our national flag in their hands. Look at this diagram. This is the moment when our Indian cricket team won the World Cup. If I count how many Indian players are there in the team, then how can you count? You may start from 1. You may count like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 and 15. You may say that there are 15 members in our Indian cricket team who won the World Cup. You see, in all these cases, you started counting from 1 and you counted like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 and so on. These numbers are used to count the objects. Therefore, these numbers are called counting numbers. Okay? You can use the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 and so on. You can use these numbers to count the objects. Therefore, they are called counting numbers. And you see, if you look at the numbers may start from 1. In this case, you may start counting from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and later by getting a number 10 in which we have 1 and 0. In the next number 11 we have 2 1s and in the next number 12 we have 1 and 2, like this. Therefore, we use the digits 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 0. These 10 are called digits and these digits are useful to form numbers. Any number can be formed by these 10 digits only. Therefore, how many digits are there? We have 10 digits. And what are they? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 0. These 10 are called digits and we can form numbers by means of these digits. You see, for example, 1, 5, 10, 13, 28, 99, 123, 999, 1000 and so on. And all these numbers are formed by means of these 10 digits. Now, what are the different types of sets of numbers? You come across these sets of numbers in your previous classes. Yes, the first set of numbers is set of natural numbers. Natural numbers is denoted by the letter n and these set of natural numbers may start from 1. 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on are called set of natural numbers. In this set of natural numbers, what is the least natural number? Good. 1 is the least natural number. And what is the highest natural number? Good, we cannot say. Therefore, the infinity is the highest or the maximum natural number. There is no highest natural number, but the least natural number is 1. Now, the difference between any two successive natural numbers is always 1. And again, if you add 1 to a preceding natural number, you will get the next natural number. For example, if you add 1 to 1, you will get 2. If you add 1 to 2, you will get 3. If you add 1 to 3, you will get 4. If you add 1 to 4, you will get 5. And so on, you can write all these natural numbers. Since n is the first letter in the word natural numbers, these natural numbers are denoted by the letter n. Next is whole numbers. Whole numbers may start from 0. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on is set of whole numbers. And this set of whole numbers is represented by the letter W. This set of whole numbers is nothing but the set of natural numbers plus 0. If you add 0 to set of natural numbers, you will get set of whole numbers. Therefore, you can write set of whole numbers as 0 and this is union. 0 union n means natural numbers union. Unions means you have to sum up. Natural numbers plus the number 0. You will get set of whole numbers. And the next is set of integers. Set of integers is represented by Z. You see, the set of natural numbers is represented by n and set of whole numbers is represented by W, as W is the first letter in whole numbers. But whereas in this case, integers are represented by Z but not by I. Why? Because these integers are also called as Zahlen numbers in German. In German, you can call integers as Zahlen numbers. You can represent the integers with Z, Zahlen. May start with Z, therefore these are represented by Z. These integers may start from minus infinity to minus 2, minus 1, 0, 1, 2 and so on. This is nothing but the negative numbers union whole numbers. If we add negative numbers to the set of whole numbers, you will get integers. And in other words, if we add negative numbers and 0 to set of natural numbers, again you will get integers. The next set of numbers is rational numbers. The rational numbers is represented by the letter Q but not with R. Q stands for quotient. You see, rational number is a number which is in the form of P by Q. Any number in the form of p by q is called a rational number, but the condition is p and q should be integers and q should not be equal to 0. Rational numbers represented by the letter q, and a number in the form of p by q where p and q are integers and q not equal to 0 is called a rational number. A rational number is a number which is in the form of p by q, a fraction form p by q, numerator by denominator, where both numerator and denominator should be integers and q should not be 0. The denominator should not be 0. Such type of numbers are called rational numbers, and these rational numbers are represented by the letter q. Q stands for quotient. Every natural number is a rational number, every whole number is a rational number, every integer is a rational number. Therefore 0, 1, minus 3, 1 by 2, minus 4 by 5, and all these are rational numbers. If you come to decimal numbers, 0.125, this is the terminating decimal, a rational number. Every terminating decimal is a rational number. This is 0.333 and so on. It is non-terminating but recurring. 3 is repeating. Therefore, non-terminating and recurring decimals are also rational numbers. And this is 12.4 and 7 is recurring. Therefore, it is again a rational number. And square root of 4. Square root of 4 value is 2. Therefore, root 1, root 4, root 9, root 16, root 25, and all these are rational numbers. If it has perfect square root, then they are called rational numbers. Okay? Therefore, what is a rational number? A number which is in the form of p by q, where p and q are integers and q not equal to 0, that is denominator is not 0. Both numerator and denominator should be integers. Such type of numbers are called rational numbers. Please keep in mind, every natural number, every whole number and every integer is a rational number. You might have a doubt that if you look at 0, how 0 is a rational number? Because can you write 0 in the fraction form? You may have such doubt. Yes, 0 can be written in the fraction form. How? You can write 0 as 0 by 1, 0 by 2, 0 by 3. Therefore, it is in the form of p by q, where 0 numerator is a rational number, and of course denominator is not 0. 0 by 1, 0 by 2, 0 by 3. Therefore, it is a rational number. 1 means 1 by 1. You can write 1 as 2 by 2. You can write 1 as 3 by 3. Again, it is in the p by q form. Therefore, it is a rational number. Minus 3 means minus 3 by 1, minus 6 by 2. Like this you can write. Therefore, this is also a rational number. Okay, is your doubt clear? Good. Note, all terminating decimals and non-terminating recurring decimals are always rational numbers. You see, I told you already. 0.125, it is a terminating decimal. 0.333 and so on, it is non-terminating recurring decimal. And 12.4777, therefore it is 12.4 and 7 is recurring, therefore again it is non-terminating recurring decimal. All terminating decimals and all non-terminating recurring decimals are always rational numbers. And the other type is irrational numbers. As you know that the rational numbers are represented by q, now irrational numbers are represented by q dash, or they are also represented with s. An irrational number is a number which is not rational. Right, 1, 2, 3. An irrational number is a number which is not rational. Every non-rational number is called an irrational number. Here are the examples for irrational numbers. Root 2, root 3, 1 by root 2, root 2 plus root 3, root 3 minus root 5, and 3.1256872 and so on, and pi. All these are examples for irrational numbers. Root 2, if you find the square root of 2, you will get a non-terminating and non-recurring number. And root 3 is also non-terminating decimal. 1 by root 2, root 2 plus root 3, and root 3 minus root 5, 3.1256876 and so on. Here, if you look at this decimal number, this is non-terminating, it has no end, and at the same time nothing is repeating. It is not a recurring number and it is not a terminating decimal. This type of decimal numbers are called irrational numbers, and again pi is also an irrational number. Generally in the place of pi you may write 22/7. As you wrote pi in the form of a fraction 22/7, why it is not a rational number and how can you say that it is an irrational number, you may ask. Here, even though you can write pi is equal to 22/7, it is not its exact value. Pi value is not exactly 22/7. It is nearly equal to 22/7. The value of the pi is very nearly equal to 22/7. Therefore, it is an irrational number. Here is the note. Non-terminating and non-recurring decimal numbers are called an irrational number. If you look at these different types of numbers, you may come across natural numbers, whole numbers, integers, rational numbers and irrational numbers. But our chapter is real numbers. Now what is a real number? So far you know natural numbers, you come across whole numbers, you learn what are integers, and you understood what is a rational number, and you also learned that how a number is an irrational number. Now what numbers are called real numbers? This is the name of the chapter actually. What are called real numbers? A real number is nothing but a union of rational and irrational numbers. If we join rational and irrational numbers together, then they are called real numbers. Means the union of rational numbers and irrational numbers together are called real numbers. Real number is nothing but the union of rational numbers and irrational numbers. Q union Q dash is set of real numbers, or Q union S is set of real numbers. S is used to represent irrational numbers. Q dash is also used to represent irrational numbers, whereas this Q is used to represent rational numbers. Therefore, the union of both rational and irrational numbers is called set of real numbers. If you observe this diagram, you can find here is the first circle. This is set of natural numbers. Natural numbers may start from 1, 2, 3 and so on. And this is set of whole numbers. The set of whole numbers may start from 0, 1, 2, 3 and so on. Therefore, every natural number is a whole number. The circle N is included or inside the circle W. Therefore, every natural number is a whole number. Now this is the set of integers. Set of integers may start from minus infinity and end with plus infinity. Therefore, every natural number is an integer and every whole number is an integer. And besides whole numbers, there are negative numbers also in integers. Therefore, both natural numbers and whole numbers are inside the set of integers. And this is the set of rational numbers, which are in the form of p by q and q not equal to 0, and both p and q are integers. This is set of rational numbers. Every natural number is also a rational number, every whole number is also a rational number, and every integer is also a rational number. You see, the circle N and the circle W and the circle Z are the parts of the total circle Q. Therefore, all these numbers are included in set of rational numbers. The different circle represent the set of irrational numbers. Therefore, the numbers which are not rational are called irrational numbers. These irrational numbers are represented by Q dash or S. Now, if you include the set of rational numbers and the set of irrational numbers together, if you sum up all these rational and irrational numbers, you will get set of real numbers. Thank you one and all.